So, like, you know, and it's funny because P&L wise, it's still SMR. That's my #1 trade. And that was because, you know, it came right into our lap, exactly as we described it, you know, and we took the bids when it ripped up to the upside. And that's why you exit out of your positions. You know, once it breaks your levels, you get out, and that's how you absorb those like extra negative days, right? So that you're not having those kind of days when this thing sort of blows through the downside. So get out of your trade, don't worry about it, and then don't just keep on averaging in until a high noon, right? You gotta be able to get out high noon. Good drink. Shout out to you, Mr. Portnoy. Hey, Dave, if you're watching the show, come on, my guy. We'd like to talk to you about Davey Day Trade and see how that's going. And if you want to come on our show, man, you could be a regular guest. Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports. If you are watching, which I think there's a 50% chance you are, then, you know, hit us up at Trader TV. Sean will have you on. No worries about that.
And tell the man I absolutely loved his take on those horrible calls in the Bills game. I'm right with you, Dave. And I am the most objective person when it comes to calls that go against the Bills.
Right.
Clearly.
It's funny because I heard the opposite about that Bills game.
I am joking. No,
yeah. Unfortunately, Josh Allen was not him in that game.
I'm going to assume that he had money on that game because
he's a Patriots fan. He's Portnoy is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he wouldn't normally have been defending that, so he probably had money. And if you had money on it and the Zebras do their thing, you're not going to be happy about it. But you know, he's made some good calls in trading. You know, it'd be interesting to see what he is, where he aligns on crypto, on Bitcoin.
He's long crypto.
I know he is. That's what I'm sort of saying. Like I know people that have been advocating in the past that maybe you don't know what they think anymore. Have they changed their minds?
Yeah.
I feel like that 70 to 73,000 area that got lost has probably changed some minds, certainly. Anyways, so IBIT, speaking of which, here's my segue. There was that little VWAP trend break here on Bitcoin or on IBIT, pushed into it's not really the opening range, but like the first wick down was about 38.25 here. And then we bounced again, so it pushed into that and bounced, so took a leg out. We'll look for some reloads at VWAP if we can get them. Otherwise, see if this continues to bleed down. Bitcoin bubbles. That's an apt name after what we were just talking about. Says Palantir is flushing. Hey, that looks like the Netflix chart. But the market's going down too, but that looks like the Netflix chart. Some work on Palantir. Yeah. The lows aren't till, you got nothing till 128 on PLTR. Ooh, that was shoot.
Oh boy, look at this trade.
Yeah, that was a flat bottom break. No questions asked as we continue to flush. It's been all about the shorts. They've paid off today. And apparently at some point we're going to Adara.
Just be aware, hi Sean, with the bull or whatever was on that screen there. I just want to let you guys know, right now we do have Senator Tillis interrogating or questioning rather SEC Chair Paul Atkins on the U.S. stakes the government's been taking in companies. He already mentioned LAC and MP. Keep an eye on these companies as well as Intel. Obviously, we have yet to hear a response here, more details from SEC Chair Paul Atkins. But either way, in addition to like these Coinbase and Gemini investments, or in the Trump campaign coming up, we now also have mentions here of these Trump companies.
Apologize for those mic issues there with Miss Adara. But hey, man. I know Joe and I trade these futures over here, and there it goes, man. The TQs, man, downside. Now we are in that club, man, that vaunted club right there, the dollar club now as the TQs. And of course, this is just triple the futures. So it's, you know, if you're trading the futures and you're short with me, then obviously you're printing. But there it goes to the downside right now on the TQQs, just continually bleeding now. And those are some good outs, man, down there at 50s. Let's now see where we can go on the NASDAQ. What's the next level? We did have that talk the other day about 608 on the Qs. So let me just see where that is right now on the broader market. So that was the bouncing spot for us. Previously was 608. So we could see that kind of a dip down opportunity. Bye-bye SMR. But here we go, back to the TQQs, back to the futures again. But the money storm is right here, right now on these futures. So we're going to see where and how low we can fly. This is just a 1 minute chart. So you're already this is why we bid out right there into yesterday's midday low. So now we'll wait over and we'll see open up a little bit of a bigger chart right there. And just to see what we can come up to, man, $50.20, $50 on the basement right there as well. So yeah, this could be a good little spot. So I guess that's the 608 level. So we'll see if we can get into 50.20. We'll put a bid, then 50 flat, and we'll see where we go from here. It's the futures, and they're going downside right now. Good question there by Olette in the chat. So we will tweet this out, our positions. But yeah, either or. Whatever you want to do, SQQ or TQQs. The SQQ, of course, I think they keep rebalancing them so they're different prices, but the SQQ is actually more expensive than the TQQ. So, you do pay per ticket fee on the SEC, so the price of it sometimes matters. But for me, I just like looking, and if I'm thinking red, then the position's red. This just goes the other way. So there's SQQC 183, how much it's up. TQQ's down, right? The same number. So that's the difference right there, is I'd rather be short when the market's going down. So I choose the TQQQQ. As Pikachu, I choose you as well. Would love to have that Logan Paul Pikachu card. If anyone has $5.1 million, I advise you not spend it on that. But that's the current.
Probably not.
That's the current bid, $5.1 million for that rare Pikachu Illustrator card. Oh. But with buyer premium, it's like $6.4 million right now. So enjoy it, Logan Paul. You just made yourself a hell of a lot of money. All right, back over to the desk. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about these Pikachu cards here, but I do know that this market is once again super mixed. Consumer non-durables strong here, producer manufacturing strong, retail trade strong with the notable exception of Amazon. Health tech generally doing well, utilities, process industries, communications, great look here with T-Mobile earnings day 2, industrial services and health services. Now let's move on to what's a little bit weaker here. Consumer services, I mean, McDonald's trying to hold up the sector on earnings day 1, but then you've got Disney down 5%. I cannot find news on this. This also maybe could be a sector play with Netflix. We know Netflix had that insider sale, but this Disney drop makes me wonder if this is going to be a sector-wide move. Again, no news on Disney that I could find. Speaking of Netflix, the tech services sector down across the board. AppLovin down nearly 20% right now. Electronic tech, I mean, Cisco hit SSR, Apple, Broadcom, AMD, Intel to the downside, though other names in this sector, specifically memory type plays like Seagate, actually up. Seagate up 10% right now today. Finance here also weak along with energy minerals. So long story short, once again, it's going to be a story of tech doing one thing and the rest of the market doing something else. Back to you.
Yeah, and yeah, well, tech is flushing. Bitcoin didn't make a fresh low, so this is the other thing I want to respect. As the market broke down, we kind of get into yesterday's lows on the NASDAQ, but Bitcoin starts to have buyers, or IBIT, Bitcoin, I'm trading IBIT. Bitcoin starts to have a higher low, so I'll respect it. We bounce off that higher low, we'll jump out, and just look for the next opportunity. If I'm looking short, what's the setup? Trend break, VWAP, all that kind of stuff, play it, then look for the next opportunity, which, believe it or not, maybe not the most, it might not be the sexiest thing in the world, but if I'm looking for something long, I like EA. It's kind of underpriced relative to where the deal is, and this is yesterday's low. I had this for a trend break yesterday, trended down right around this same level, and then played it back into VWAP. I might do the same thing, but it's still headed lower. So I'm just looking for the next execution. So far, I keep saying so far so good, but that's kind of the way to look at it. So here's a bit of a Bitcoin bounce. It's worth a shot reloading at VWAP, but I look over at silver, which was similar. It did exactly the same type of move on a trend break, got to VWAP, kind of consolidated a bit, and is still putting in higher lows. I don't want to force it. Like, even that reload was not as good as the original trade, so I want to find something a little bit better. Again, it's been a good day, but nothing has gone crazy. That's sort of the problem with this.
Just like the futures,
Intel,
man. Just the futures.
Intel broke higher, Intel broke lower. That was pretty clean both ways, but it never got to 47, unfortunately. Yeah, so far it's been a good one. One flat trade, 3 winners, 1 loss. I'll take it, but not going to force any action. Like I said, the next trade looks like it might be that EA, looking for the trend break there. Definitely not silver. And we might have missed the boat on, look, obviously, the biggest, and I'm a little surprised when I look at the locator, that Fastly is number 7. I had to double check. FSLY has been an absolute rocket ship the majority of the day. So I hope some of the small cap traders did a good job with this, because it was really just one breakout off of VWAP, and then 2 dips now into VWAP. What I would be concerned with is if this loses VWAP as the market's going down, there's nothing that's going to have a bigger gap to fill downside than FSLY. Actually, do we have locates? Yeah, we can short this for free. Just checking to be sure. If we lose VWAP, that's a monster gap. It's got like 15% to get back down to the next support level here on FSLS. So as good as it's been, if we keep going lower and break those NASDAQ lows, I have to look for this for reversion.
All right, guys. Joe is in the building. Hit him up on the chat. I just see right there for Joe. I'll be sitting, I believe, I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm going to be sitting in for Joe around 1:40 or so today. So I'll be back with Sharif on the midday show, and we'll have some fun there today at the midday. But yeah, like I was just saying, as Neil mentioned there, not an overly exciting trade today, I guess, unless you are in this futures trade. As right now, this is the name. I mean, this is what's been breaking down. I see some of you guys in the chat talking about XLV. That is your future, that is the tech ETF. So, you know, whether or not your trade, or sorry, XLV is healthcare. Let's have a look at that. Someone put it in there and I mistook it for XLK, which is the tech ETF. Yeah, there you go, man. Healthcare, right? We saw Oscar to the upside there on an upgrade. There goes XLV. I prefer for myself XBI, which is the biotech space. I just think that that's more of a likely disruptor to AI, with AI in that space, creating more efficiencies and whatnot, less you know, testing time, and hopefully more accurate trial results and things like that for AI if they can get that. So I prefer XBI, but there goes XLV, and here goes XBI. Let's have a quick look at that. So XLV up 0.7. I don't know what's going on with these different names today. We haven't really looked too much, other than Eli Lilly was slightly up, but there's XBI and kind of doing nothing right now. This name is actually, this could be something that I average into, actually, now that I'm looking at this. A name that I've been buying pretty much like one of the only ETFs. I have XBI, XLE. So XBI is, I just said pharmaceuticals. XLE is the energy space, which has been hot fire. And then, of course, SPY and the Qs remain staple portfolio holdings of mine as well. And then really, oh, and then I have this name, which I haven't looked in a minute. I'm going to do that in a second. ARKQ, I think. Is that the robotics one? Yeah, so oops, ARKQ and the Amex. This is the Kathy Wood. Please don't tell Brian Shannon I own this, because he will not be too happy with that one. All right, Super Chat is fine. You can keep it up as I scroll through and wait for these charts to load. Was it up there? There it is. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Early take right there. Hit it early. Boom. Thanks again to Sean. I'll take it. Let me just figure out what you're saying.
Hungover.
Followed you late on Tesla yesterday. Too hungover to think about chicken dinner energy. Well, we're here with the energy, man, every single day, and obviously the trade ideas. So I salute to you, Easy Peasy. Thank you for sticking with your sort of resolution there and donating, you know, minimum $2 or so every time.
Because you could have been long or short on SNDK.
Yeah, either one.
Chart. It's actually not. It's not entirely obvious, because you could have taken. You said it early. You could have literally had a breakout and done $20 or $15 there. Although on SNDK, that's like 0.25%. But still, it is what it is. Or you could have just been short the reversion. It now looks like an obvious short. Sprung, where do we think SoFi will bottom? So from positive to, unfortunately, sprung out, you know, there's not much that's going to look good for SoFi. The sector's getting bled a little bit here. You're seeing the bank stocks. We talked about this yesterday. They're starting to look weak, and they've all been turning around, and you're getting a little bit more of that here today. So SoFi, of course, falls into that category. $18 and $18.20. Like, if I zoom in, this will be easier to see. So there's their prior high. You did have a little bit of chop in there, but it's really just this prior high going back into the beginning of last year that's going to have to try to hold. And if you lose that, then SoFi starts to get into ugly territory. That said, if you've been holding on to this for a while, like the consolidation levels were underneath $10, where this was the build zone. So I don't suspect we'll see those prices again. I don't have a problem with buying in the teens on SoFi, but I'm waiting for a shot at an 18 bounce. If not, then I'm looking at the low to mid-teens on SoFi. It's lost the 200-period moving average, so unfortunately, it is kind of like a short till it proves otherwise for this name. Let's go to Adara. Only 10 minutes until we get to said midday.
I just want to mention here, too, the amount of companies being name-dropped during this SEC hearing, which is, again, less than 1 hour in, is just continuing to escalate. We also had Senator Banks just now mention Webull and Alibaba, alleging that both companies have ties to the Communist Party of China and that they should actually be maybe delisted from U.S. markets. Why are they allowed to trade? So that's being brought up here as well, BULL and BABA. But let's talk about the U.S. dollar, which is why we're here right this second. So DXY right now on the daily chart, this is what our fifth straight red day, trying to find some support yesterday around that 96 halves level, currently trading around 96.7. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. As expected, not only is this red, it actually took out last week's low as well. We didn't even get anywhere near last week's high. Again, the most obvious level of support here now. Beyond this level, we sort of double bottomed at around 96.3s going back to September and June of last year. Then you've got this low that we made last month, January, the week of January 26th, around that 95.6 level. Let's see if that ends up coming into support or if we're able to bounce prior to that level needing to be interacted with. I want to mention here economic data on deck for tomorrow. We get core CPI, we get CPI month over month and year over year, and also core CPI month over month and year over year. Core CPI 2.5% is the forecast. Core CPI month over month 0.3% is the forecast. We're expecting a slight uptick in the month over month core CPI, but a slight cooling of the year over year CPI. Now, month over month CPI non-core is expected to be flat. CPI year over year expected to cool as well. So to kind of summarize it, we are expecting cooler numbers than prior for these year over year CPI prints. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. And shout out to Afi in the chat here, who's saying Amazon, well, at this point, it looks like it will tie its longest losing streak since 2019. This should be day number 8 for Amazon. Whoa, there we go. Day number 8 for Amazon. The only thing it hasn't done is lose its earning bottom at $198. It continues to absolutely get, well, wrecked is the wrong word, down 2%. There's names that are down more than 2%, but as I said, oh, that's not an up day. I don't like why that candle's green on the daily. That was not an up day at all. Down, yeah, slightly down day 2 after earnings, but losing contain, losing the bid here for Amazon, unfortunately. All right, so market's trying an attempt at a bounce. I said the next thing I might do, if Fastly doesn't break down, then I'm gonna take a breakout on EA, which is just something I've been doing more or less every single day. Yeah, Army Clan, Amazon 198. It's real. The only reason I say 198,
198, Jesus.
Because that's the earnings low, right? Like
it's not there yet.
Yeah, like it's not. Well, I mean, it is
there. Wow, man, we called that short too.
Effectively, it is at 198. This is just the earnings low, and that was the aftermarket low. It hasn't actually traded down here in the open market yet until today. So you are breaking down, unfortunately, here for Amazon. Structure is. I mean, it's good for a momentum trade. It's obviously not good for much of anything else, I hate to say, as we continue to drop.
Big time.
Silver, obviously this is actually not falling that far
man.
To said downside. But like I said, this is not one that I want to fight. So the newest trade is simply, you're now breaking this trend line on EA. A little early for this. It's been doing it in the middle of the day. Oh, and that IPO. No, it's still not there. Maybe there's something wrong with my
APC.
Because I don't see any information on it. Oh, there it is. So why is it not on my... I have an imbalance locator that I do like with just set stocks. But APC is 3.8 million to buy, indicating a 12.01 open. So I guess it's priced at 12, because why else would you open there? And then you have a couple of SPACs. But APC, 3.8 million shares to buy, indicating 12.01.
Oh,
and then hold on a second. No, this was priced at 18.
Yeah. Ouch. That's not good.
Oh, that's bad. This was priced at $18, and the current tap is 12.01. Yeah, last I checked, that's not good. If you're gonna actually open 33, that's insane. That could also just be it's way too early. Yeah, there it goes. Now it's back up to 18. That makes more sense. Yeah, that was probably just kind of a blip, because that wouldn't make any sense that it would open $12. So right now it's indicating still underneath 17.5. When they open lower underneath the price, I'm not taking the open print if people aren't even buying it at the issue price. I'll stay away from that.
All right. Yeah, right now we'll just go figure out what's for lunch right here and just get this over with, because yesterday we did have tilapia, so we don't have to worry about tilapia today. We can, unless it comes in back-to-back days over here. All right. Yeah, it shouldn't be. Today is Oh, that's the breakfast menu. Okay, this is February. What day is it today? Yeah, February 12th. Okay, so we're good. Ooh, this time. Wow, by the way, the TQ's continuing going low. Right now, bang. We had mentioned that, you know, the big trade here of the day right there on the futures as they're getting lower, almost down 1% right now. Let's do that one more time. Let's go see what's for lunch. Today, the flag is the Canadian flag. Okay, so that's not a tilapia. Let's get down the Qs. Today is buttermilk fried chicken. The last time we had this, it was a U.S. flag. Buttermilk fried chicken with mashed potatoes, gravy, and coleslaw. So we'll see. I know last time we were impressed with the fried chicken. I don't think I was
here.
here.
I believe it was good.
Yeah, so.
It was delicious.
Yeah, there it is, man.
But they had biscuits last time.
They may this time. I don't know. This time it just says, it doesn't seem like it's enough. There's always like an extra side there.
Well, it's also not biscuits because it's Canadian. When they had the U.S. flag, it was biscuits.
Yeah. So this is, I guess, maybe the mashed potatoes is what's Canadian. I don't know. But buttermilk fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, and just a bit of slaw. Okay, so that's what that is right now on the TQQs. Nice downside move, and that is what's for lunch. And, you know, we'll finish the day at our highest spot right now. Yeah, so, has it been updated? Okay, so they updated Randy. He went in there based on
but if
Monday.
Because everyone's down, so like it doesn't, you're flat then.
No. He went in with, Fabian just told me, he put it at the same date as everybody else. So right now he has XOM up 25%.
So he was like retroactive?
Yeah, that's okay. The one thing is, I'm fine with that, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is because we all know that Randy was all about XOM from time. So if we had included him, exactly.
I know that.
So there's nothing.
Is it the
I'm
whole
not sure what
about kicking Obi out?
Well, Obi's out because he broke the rules. Obi's not out. I'm putting him back in. So if you guys, there's a lot of complaint about. So right there it is. So XOM. 24% upside. So congratulations, Randy. Here's the tracker, man. You can see Ramin at the low end here. Neil and I, Brendan. Exactly. Yeah. Relax, Ram. I'm not even sure you remember the names you have. So there's Ramin right there. Obi killing it right now, up 30%. Adara, Randy, congratulations at 9% right there. Joe at 1.4%. That's nice. So Joe and Sharif. So the midday, you want to hit the fail button? Okay, this is for Randy. For Joe. Yeah. Joe's making moves back up. Joe's making moves right there.
It's kind of weird.
I love Joe's picks. I like CrowdStrike, actually. I think I'm going to dip by in some CrowdStrike, I think, at some point there. I really like that play. Me and Neil both have disasters with AVAV and BBAI. CRISPR's a disaster. For me as well, there's Marvell flat, Lilly flat, and then BBAI down. So we'll wait. Yeah, Big Bear. Oh, you've got the mic going on there, Randy. Yeah, so great pick with XOM, man. I mean, Energy. Yeah, that's where he was working this morning. Energy, a great name, a great play there. So we've recently bought some XLE as well. So comments on your picks?
I'm confident. I really am. I mean, yeah, people are going to nag on Volkswagen, but there's lots and lots of good things in the pipeline there. They don't recall like Ford. They're not a pure EV play. They've got hybrids. They've got, ICE cars still. So they've got a toe in all the pools. And global car company, I like their play. I do.
While we have you here, you just mentioned Ford. Ford is kind of trying to break out right now.
Yes, it's trying to break out. Was it news?
No.
A lack of recalls?
No, there was no story that I saw. They recently reported.
Hey, Ford is dummying a lot of these picks, man. Ford has actually been a great pick.
Well, that write-down they took to get out of the EV thing is going to hurt them.
They had strong guidance, too, on the report. Very strong guidance on the report.
Shareholders might be initially a little pissed off, but they got to play this smart. They really do. They want to survive. They've really got to get their cards in a row here. But good pop on Ford.
Here's the chart for VOW. So this is a stock that we obviously don't talk about that much. Traded over here in the German exchange. We can also watch it with, he was able to pull the quote because there's also an ADR we can use for that on the OTC as well. But
on the pinks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So right into here, we'll see if we can break a little bit higher. Volkswagen, pretty good pick, man, holding the 200 period moving average. We'll see if it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to have enough juice, Randy, but hey, man,
Give it time.
with things in the pipeline. As Ramin wanted to make sure everyone knows, it's February, so
Is it February?
she's getting ready. I know. I can't believe it's almost Valentine's Day.
It's
To be
crazy.
honest with you.
Valentine's Day's literally
so crazy. It's Saturday,
Saturday.
right there on Valentine's Day. So there we go. Yeah. So it was Obi's. Picks were SIDU on the short side. They're shorting, the space place there. As that comes in, and you can see like this short has been really hot fire. I mean, it was when he took it, it did go against him like 70%, but now it's all the way back down into $2.
No.
Yeah, because I think he was short. What was it? We did it on the 12th, right? So I don't know his price, but it went to $4.50 from $3, maybe 50% against them. And then Circle as well was a great call. I mean, Circle breaking its IPO bottom there. So right now, Obi crushing everybody on this sheet. But as we know, as Ramin reminds us, it's still early. So let's see. I still believe in Marvell and Eli Lilly and Big Bear AI that's been a falling disaster. I mean, I could have picked Palantir. That's what won me this whole thing last year with up 160% last year. Let's see if we can beat that this year. It's 11 o'clock.